What's up, Lakers Nation? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, your number one source for all the breaking news, insider updates, and expert analysis on our Los Angeles Lakers. Today, I've got some absolutely critical information that every single Lakers fan needs to hear. We're going to dive deep into a situation that's been developing over the past month, and I'm going to give you the complete picture with medical insights, recovery timelines, and what this all means for our championship aspirations this season. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for every single detail I'm about to break down. The energy around the Lakers organization right now is absolutely electric. But there's been this underlying question that's been on everyone's mind since the very first game of the season. Something unprecedented happened on opening night. Something that caught the entire basketball world off guard and sent shockwaves through Laker Nation. For the first time in a legendary career spanning over 2 decades, we witnessed something that nobody ever thought they'd see. And it's been a storyline that's dominated conversations around the team for the past 4 weeks. But here's what's fascinating about this entire situation. While this unprecedented absence has been happening, our Lakers have been absolutely balling out on the court. We're sitting at an impressive 8-3 record through the first 11 games of the season, and the way we've been winning has been nothing short of spectacular. The team chemistry has been off the charts. New additions have exceeded expectations, and we're seeing the emergence of players stepping into bigger roles than anyone anticipated. Luka Doncic has been absolutely phenomenal, playing like the 5-time All-NBA first-team guard that he is, taking command of this team and showing why he's one of the elite players in this league. Austin Reeves has taken another massive leap forward, and I'm telling you right now, if he stays healthy, we're looking at a first-time All-Star this season. The kid has been sensational, making plays on both ends of the floor, showing confidence and poise beyond his years, and proving that he belongs in conversations about the best guards in the Western Conference. And let's talk about our off-season acquisitions, because they've been absolutely crucial to our success. DeAndre Ayton has brought that rim protection and rebounding presence we desperately needed. Jake LaRavia has been a revelation with his versatility and basketball IQ. And even Marcus Smart has contributed in meaningful ways with his defensive intensity and veteran leadership. This team has found an identity, a rhythm, and a winning formula that has us looking like legitimate contenders in what everyone knows is a brutally competitive Western Conference. But there's been this elephant in the room, this massive question mark hanging over everything we've accomplished so far. The situation I'm talking about involves the most important player in franchise history, a 4-time league MVP, a 21-time All-NBA selection, and someone who has been the face of our organization. This situation has forced us to confront some uncomfortable realities about age, health, and the future of this team. But I'm here to tell you that there's reason for optimism. There's reason to believe that what we're about to witness could be one of the most inspiring comeback stories in recent NBA history. Now, before I reveal exactly what's been going on, I need you to understand the medical complexities of what we're dealing with here. This isn't a simple ankle sprain or a minor muscle pull that heals in a week or two. We're talking about a condition that affects a significant percentage of the population, particularly people in a specific age demographic. And it's something that requires careful management, strategic rehabilitation, and patience. The pain associated with this condition radiates through the body in ways that can be debilitating. And for an elite athlete whose entire game depends on explosive movement, cutting, jumping, and constant physical stress, managing this condition becomes exponentially more challenging. The medical term we're dealing with is sciatica. And let me break down exactly what that means for those of you who aren't familiar. Sciatica is essentially the irritation of the sciatic nerve, which is this massive nerve that's actually a combination of 3 separate nerves from your spine. Your spinal cord ends around where your rib cage ends, and then there's this collection of nerves that branch out, and they're numbered L1, L2, L3, L4, and so on. The sciatic nerve specifically is made up of the L4, L5, and S1 nerve, and it travels from your lower back through your buttocks and down your leg, controlling your thigh muscles, calf muscles, and foot muscles. When someone has sciatica, what's typically happening is that a herniated disc or a bulging disc is pressing on one of those nerves up in the spinal area, causing pain that shoots down that entire nerve pathway. We're talking about pain that goes from the buttocks all the way down the leg, often extending below the knee. For an athlete who needs to be able to explode off the floor, change direction instantly, and maintain perfect body control, you can imagine how devastating this kind of pain and discomfort can be. Here's what makes this situation particularly challenging: the age factor. Now, the player we're talking about is superhuman. There's no question about that. But even superhuman bodies are subject to the realities of human biology. Medical research shows that if you look at the frequency of lumbar disc herniation across different age groups, 40 years old is actually the median age for people experiencing herniated discs. It's a bell curve, so you see it in younger people and older people too. But the peak incidence is right around that 35 to 45 age range dot. And here's something that might surprise you. Even among people who have never experienced back pain, if you were to do MR is on 1,040-year-olds, somewhere between 33 and 37% of them would show bulging discs. It's actually a natural occurrence as our bodies age. But the problem comes when that bulging disc presses on a nerve and causes significant pain or weakness. Genetics play the biggest role in determining who experiences these issues, even more than factors like physical activity or lifestyle choices. So now let me tell you exactly who we're talking about and what's been happening. Lebron James, our 40-year-old superstar, who's been the league's oldest active player for 3 consecutive seasons, has been dealing with sciatica affecting his right side since some point this summer. For the first time in his entire legendary career, LeBron missed the season opener, and he's been unavailable for the entire first 4 weeks of the regular season. This is unprecedented territory for a player who has built his reputation on durability and availability throughout his career. LeBron is currently on an expiring $52.6 million deal, and there are legitimate questions about what his future with the Lakers looks like, especially with Austin Reeves emerging as a potential cornerstone piece and the team proving they can win at a high level without him on the floor. But here's where things get really exciting, and this is why I'm so optimistic about where we're headed. LeBron has been making serious progress in his recovery, and the latest updates are incredibly encouraging. Just recently, insider reports revealed that LeBron participated in his first full practice of the season and his first 5-on-5 workout. He's been putting in work with our G League affiliate in El Segundo, the South Bay Lakers, while the rest of the team has been on their road trip. Sources close to the situation have indicated that LeBron looked great during practice, felt great, moved well, and didn't show any signs of issues as he worked through this nerve problem on his right side. The word coming out of those practices is that LeBron is motivated and eager to get back on the court, potentially as soon as mid to late this month. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when LeBron finally makes his season debut? The energy in crypto.com arena is going to be absolutely insane. And think about what it means for this team to add a player of LeBron's caliber to a squad that's already winning at a high level. We're not talking about adding LeBron to save a struggling team. We're talking about adding him to a team that's already figured out how to win, that's already built chemistry, that's already playing with confidence. Now, let's talk about the recovery process and what LeBron and our medical staff have been doing to get him ready for his return. When dealing with sciatica, especially from a herniated disc, the key is managing the movements and positions that cause pain. Generally, bending forward and flexing the body tends to increase pain for people with herniated discs. So you have to be very careful about which exercises and movements are incorporated into the rehabilitation process. The good news for basketball players is that a lot of basketball movements involve being upright, arching, and extension, which often doesn't cause pain for someone with a herniated disc unless there's severe narrowing of the spinal canal. The Lakers training staff has likely been taking a very systematic and somewhat conservative approach to LeBron's ramp up. They would have started with activities that don't involve gravity stress on the spine, like pool work, then gradually introduce jogging and running, then progress to basketball-specific movements like shooting and cutting. The biggest concern from a medical standpoint isn't necessarily the pain itself, but rather the potential for weakness in the affected areas. If there's any weakness in the muscles controlled by those irritated nerves, there's a risk that LeBron could injure something else because he wouldn't be able to protect himself properly during explosive movements. That's why the Lakers have been so cautious with his return timeline, making sure that not only is the pain manageable, but that he has full strength and control in all the affected muscle groups. What's so encouraging about the recent practice reports is that LeBron apparently looked smooth, moved well, and didn't show any limitations. That suggests that the rehabilitation process has been successful, that the nerve irritation has calmed down, and that he's regained the strength and mobility necessary to play at an elite level. Remember, this is LeBron James we're talking about. This is a guy who has defied Father Time for years, who takes care of his body better than anyone in the history of the sport, who spends millions of dollars annually on his physical preparation and recovery. If anyone can come back from a sciatica issue at 40 years old and still play at an elite level, it's LeBron. And the fact that he's been able to participate in 5-on-5 action, which is the most demanding test of whether he's truly ready to return, is a massive positive sign. The Lakers wouldn't be putting him in those situations if they weren't confident in his physical condition and his ability to handle the stress of competitive basketball. Now, let's talk about what LeBron's return means for this team moving forward. We've already established that the Lakers have been excellent without him, going 8-3 and looking like a legitimate Western Conference contender. The question becomes, how do you integrate LeBron back into a team that's already found success without him? This is actually a great problem to have, and I think J.J. Redick and the coaching staff are going to handle it brilliantly. The beauty of having LeBron come back to a winning team is that there's no pressure for him to be the guy who has to do everything. He can pick his spots, he can play within the flow of the offense, he can focus on the areas where he's most effective, and he doesn't have to carry an unsustainable burden. We've seen how Austin Reeves has stepped up as a primary playmaker and scorer. We've seen Luka Doncic dominating. We've seen the role players contributing consistently. LeBron gets to come back and be the cherry on top of an already delicious sundae. Imagine the lineup possibilities when LeBron returns. You could have LeBron, Luka, and Austin all on the floor together, giving you 3 elite playmakers and scorers who can create for themselves and others. The defensive attention that would require from opponents would be absolutely impossible to manage. Pick your poison. Do you double LeBron and leave Luka or Austin open? You play straight up and let LeBron go to work? There's no good answer for opposing defenses. And think about how fresh LeBron is going to be. While other teams' star players have been grinding through the first month of the season, accumulating minutes and wear and tear on their bodies, LeBron has been resting, recovering, and getting his body right. He's essentially going to have the legs of someone who's been on an extended offseason while his teammates have been building chemistry and momentum. That could be a massive advantage as we get deeper into the season and teams start to feel the effects of the long NBA grind. The timing of LeBron's potential return in mid to late November also works out perfectly. That gives him about a month and a half to get back into game shape, find his rhythm within the team's offensive system, and build chemistry with all the new pieces before we hit the heart of the season. By the time we get to January and February, which is when contenders start to separate themselves from pretenders, LeBron should be fully integrated and playing at high level. So Lakers Nation, I want to hear from you. How excited are you about LeBron's impending return? Do you think he can come back and play at an elite level despite missing the first month of the season? How do you see him fitting in with the way this team has been playing? Are you confident in the medical staff's handling of his recovery? Drop all your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, because I want to know what Lakers Nation is thinking about this crucial moment in our season. If you want to stay completely locked in on every update about LeBron's return, every development with this team, and all the breaking Lakers news as it happens, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I'm bringing you daily content, insider information, and the kind of detailed analysis you won't find anywhere else. This is Lakers News Fan Report, your home for everything Lakers. Let's go get this championship. Lakers Nation, purple and gold, forever